And the beautiful part, the deputies go out and do the shopping. Our civilian staff goes out and does it. They're Santa Claus for a day. And they're saying, I want to buy a gift for these folks, and you guys provide that means. Welcome back, friends. Episode number 94 of Behind the Badge here at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. My name is Todd Baxter. I'm the Sheriff of Monroe County. Absolutely blessed to be the Sheriff, working on my 5th year, believe it or not, and a lot of work with some great people that support us and great deputies behind the badge that we try and showcase. And this week we're going to talk, it is the season of giving, and we're going to talk to the president of the Monroe County Sheriff's Foundation, Bill Sanborn.
Morning, Sheriff.
How are you, President?
Doing great.
Good.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, it's always wonderful to be with you. I know you hold that title right now of president of the Monroe County Sheriff's Foundation, but you had a few other titles in your career. I think you were like the undersheriff of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office for many, many years.
Yep, there was a time.
Yeah. So, well, welcome home. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
No, it's an honor to be here. And yeah, I was very fortunate. It's funny, I got into law enforcement. I'm a first-generation law enforcement people, so a lot of times people ask me, how did you get into law enforcement? What piqued your interest? Well, I can't say that I'm one of those persons that said, oh, when I grow up, I want to be a policeman. It wasn't that way for me. But it's kind of funny. Back when I was finishing up high school and I was trying to find out what career I wanted to get into, there was a TV show that actually got me into policing that piqued my interest, and that was the Cops, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
So when I saw that and realized, you know what, that's the type of work I think I want to get into,
Interesting.
I pursued it from there. But yeah, so I went to Monroe Community College. From there, I was fortunate to get hired with the Sheriff's Office as a part-time seasonal deputy. And as I finished my education, I went to Brockport and got hired full-time. So that was back in 1991.
Wow.
1991 when I started full-time and had a wonderful career with the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, ending up as undersheriff, which is
26 years,
the number 2 position in the Sheriff's Office.
Ended as undersheriff under Sheriff Patrick O'Flynn.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But such a rewarding experience. Again, I always tell people if I had the opportunity to go back and do it again, I wouldn't hesitate.
Yeah. You know, I was telling the story. We have a young lady from Haiti living with us, and her name is Taj, and I was driving an MCC this morning, and she asked almost saying, well, how'd you end up in this as sheriff? You know, so the story goes way, way back, but the funny thing I told her is what you just said, is I didn't dream of being a cop when I was growing up. Yours was a TV show. Mine was a recruiter at the United States Army saying, all right, you're going to join the Army. What do you want to do? And as a whim, I said military police officer.
Yeah.
Like you fell in love with a career. That's incredible how I think that helps a lot. You know, it wasn't our dream. It was just it's our passion, though. So, you know, how do you get back on how do you come to the foundation, the Sheriff's Foundation? I think it was unusual when I walked in there. I was like, I'm surprised that there's a former police officer on the foundation, which is a huge benefit, by the way.
Yes.
But how'd you get drawn into the foundation?
So when I was working as undersheriff, I served in that capacity for 5 years. Again, I was with Sheriff O'Flynn at that time. And I decided to retire from the Sheriff's Office only because of the unique opportunity that came up with a position as the Director of Safety and Security for the Churchville-Chili Central School District. When I retired from the Sheriff's Office, I had worked very closely with the Sheriff's Foundation throughout my career, but particularly as undersheriff. And I formed friendships with the people that are on the board of directors, and being so intimate in knowing what they did and the cause that it was for, I was offered the opportunity to become a board of directors member or pursue that, and I did. So I've been working voluntarily in that capacity since 2015.
Well, thanks for your service, and now you're the president. And that means it comes with a whole lot more work with the same amount of pay, zero.
It is, but it's very
incredible.
satisfying, and to have the opportunity to contribute back, and particularly to still be a part of an organization that I was so proud to serve in and for this community.
You know, and one of the things we wanted to showcase of the foundation today is, you know, take a half a step backwards, you guys do so much for law enforcement. You do so much for the community as a foundation. An example is our wellness program. One of the things we wanted to really take off and take to a whole new level, is the mental health, the stability, of not just the deputies, the civilian staff, and our families back home, because this is a job that draws upon you, and it'll draw and draw and draw and keep on taking from you. And if you don't know how to work through that and stay healthy mentally, physically, it can come back and haunt you. And that's just the nature of the beast of the job. We go to negative all day long, right? That's what we do for a living. We go to negative, and it's called vicarious trauma. But you guys have really championed as a foundation the wellness of our deputies, including physical fitness training areas, mental health wellness clinicians, dietary programs. It's been incredible. So I just wanted to share with the public, you're buying equipment, you're helping us out with DARE programs, things that the taxpayers just couldn't or wouldn't pay for. You're allowed to do that for us. And, we need a drone or we need a new horse. It's just great to have a foundation. But one of the things, this is the season, and Mateo put up this beautiful backdrop for us with it snowing. It was snowing this morning, by the way, Mateo, perfect job, is our holiday basket. Last week our episode was all on how much sheriff's deputies give back to the community.
Yes.
It was a whole episode just on the volunteerism and the funds that we raise for nonprofits and other things, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a year. And then also the foundation, you help us give back. You help give back to the community through this amazing holiday basket thing. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So why do you guys do it? Why this mission?
A personality trait of people that I think tend to be in law enforcement is that feeling of wanting to help others and also to be problem solvers.
Right.
And when you're dealing with families and you're responding to their homes and you're seeing that they have, particular needs, you want to help them.
Right.
And with the holiday baskets throughout the year, there are deputies and people within the department that are dealing and meeting these families. And we take note of that. And as we get to the holiday season, if we can do things to try to ease some of that stress that they might have at that particular time and render some assistance, whether it's helping with the purchasing of food or gift cards where they can purchase foods for a holiday meal,
right,
or to provide some toys for the children in these families. That is very rewarding for the deputies. It's healthy in that respect, but it's also, serving our community and our fellow man.
Yeah, and you there was a lot in that. You think of giving gifts in Christmas season, and giving's better than receiving, and all that. Those things are very important. But this is huge for the deputy. This is huge for the deputy to say, I can actually do something, right? Sometimes we go to a call and all we can do is stabilize and keep people safe, which is huge, right?
Yes.
But you're not really solving a problem. You're not having a long-term relationship. And to meet someone in April and say, you know what, I'm going to put that person on my list,
Absolutely,
my nice list, right? And we're going to see if the foundation will maybe purchase gifts for these. And the beautiful part, the deputies go out and do the shopping. Our civilian staff goes out and does it. They're Santa Claus for a day. And they're saying, I want to buy a gift for these folks, and you guys provide that means. And we'll talk about the receiving end of it in a second, but I want to emphasize how important this is to the staff.
It
really is important.
Really is.
I think Mateo's got a video. We'll show it. We got a little video of some deputies out playing Santa Claus, and it's pretty cool.
Oh, this is great.
Pretty neat how much thought they're putting into these purchases,
And they're thinking about the families that these gifts are going to go to.
It's beautiful. Look like the beginning of a NASCAR race there, where the cars are stacked up, ready to go. They're ready to get that cashier, start wrapping, and hand out hand out these presents. And I don't think when we started talking about today, we're thinking about the deputy and the civilian staff. They're thinking about the receiver of these gifts, which is very, very important. But maybe you guys don't think about how important it is for the staff,
Absolutely,
and for their well-being and their sense of pride. And like you said, we are servants. If you're in this uniform and you're not a servant, you're miserable.
That's right.
But if you're a servant, sometimes you're miserable from the standpoint, I don't feel like I'm solving. I don't feel like I really did as much as I could to serve people today. And this is just a wonderful program, and it plays perfect in the Christmas spirit. There's so much positive here. I'm so glad the foundation's part of this and champions this every year.
Yeah, well, we're just privileged to be a part of it. And the community support, we are so fortunate that in this community, there is an overwhelming support, not only to support, the needs of the sheriff's office, but all of our local law enforcement and first responders. And, I appreciate this opportunity for us to be able to kind of showcase some of the things that we are doing. And much of this is being done with the donations of kind people, but also businesses throughout our area.
And members of the foundation board. Like I joked about earlier, you guys get paid nothing. You come to countless board meetings, you work on your bylaws, you do all these things that a good nonprofit, foundation has to do, the fiduciary responsibilities. And a lot of the guys give that, we talk about time, talent, and treasure. And what a blessing of these guys. I scratched my head when I walked in the sheriff and said, I can't believe these people are around this table. I mean, it's a powerful group of people, and they all have full-time jobs, but they come here and support us.
Yeah, I can't say enough for the people that volunteer their time and are part of the board of directors on the foundation. They're very giving people, but beyond what they do for the Sheriff's Foundation, they're very much involved in other activities in our community and giving back.
And going back to the holiday basket, so you buy the presents, right? They got to be wrapped, and if you don't know, cops are probably not the best at creating little things like that. They're very good at breaking things. They don't mind shopping, but we get volunteers from around the community to come in, and they've been doing this for years. It's like a little military operation,
it really is,
of the wrapping. But the volunteers come in. They're not part of the foundation. They're part of the community that just wants to, again, be part of this great story. And we'll show a little bit of that right now. So these volunteers from different aspects of our community. Henrietta comes in, Chilai, there's just countless. Like the all
really,
fat.
It really does look like a workshop.
It does, doesn't it? Yep. Santa's little helpers right here. You can tell it's not a cop. It was a straight line.
You're doing a great job. Tell us what you enjoy doing about this.
I love doing it because I don't have any little ones anymore, so I get to wrap for the little ones. But this is a wonderful thing that you do. I love being here.
This is what a community is all about.
Absolutely. Boy, if that doesn't encapsulate the spirit of Christmas and giving.
Exactly. And those folks that come in and volunteer that time to make them look pretty.
Yes.
They will never see the end product. You know what I'm saying? They won't see the delivery and the smile on the face and you and I got to do that last year together. We went to a house in Chilai.
That was a remarkable experience.
And we could have stayed there for hours and hours and hours just talking to that lady, but she was knocking on the door and seeing police officers out there, is never a good day.
Yes.
And it turns into an absolute perfect moment. And here's a picture of one of the deliveries we made together with Deputy Hurley to a house in Chilai. And this lady, it's very difficult to describe this without getting a tear in my eye.
It really is.
How appreciative she was and her grandchildren, and you can see the proud Marine. She's a proud grandmother of a Marine that's serving our country, and it's just a wonderful story. But she could not be. And we're not doing this for pride. I hope we're just doing this to show that we are the community, and the community is us. And
indeed,
and it's beautiful.
And she was so appreciative of us being there in the basket that we provided. But you're exactly right. You could really feel the sense of pride that she had in her family and the conversation that you had with her family member that's in the military there. But that was a remarkable experience.
Absolutely. And I do have to, it's beautiful, but I do have to comment on this sweater.
Yes, Sheriff, I actually had that in my hand this morning, and I was considering wearing it, but
that would have been perfect.
I will make you a promise, though. I will wear that sweater
wear that
again when we make our next delivery.
Let's do it. That's awesome. Now I got to get a sweater. Hope my wife's not listening. She's on Amazon right now finding me a very funny-looking sweater to go over my blue uniform, I'm sure. So.
I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I do too. Not. That's awesome. Well, I still call you Under Sheriff because that's a prominent title that you earned, and president and director, and you got a lot of titles, but you're a good human being. It's good to have you back in our house, your house. You built it way before I got here, and the work you're doing to keep our kids safe in Churchville, but also the work you're doing to keep our cops safe by buying equipment and other things. But also, I think people see in this program right here like we tried to illustrate last week, these are good people behind the badge. These are good human beings.
They are. And Sheriff, I'd like to thank you very much. Your involvement with the Sheriff's Foundation, I see that firsthand. Particularly, I'm going to mention the golf tournament that we have and we do annually. That was a tremendous opportunity for myself and others, but working hand in hand in you and your family and what you give back in volunteering, that is very much appreciative. And certainly our careers, we've worked together in different capacities over the many years, and I really value our friendship as
God
well.
bless. Well, likewise. And we, traditionally on the program Behind the Badge, we would, have the fade out music because that was a beautiful statement we just made to each other, right? But we finished with a thing called the No Miranda Zone. So we finished with a little chip. And you're familiar with Miranda. You've been a cop for a lot of years.
Yes.
Right to remain silent. Here you don't have a right to remain silent.
Okay.
It's a No Miranda Zone. So I fire off questions. You have to answer them.
Let's go.
Even though you don't work for me anymore.
All right,
but,
let's do it.
So what's your favorite sitcom? What do you sit home and watch? What would you binge watch?
I love Seinfeld.
Yeah?
Seinfeld was one of the greatest show evers, and there's a lot of one-liners that we use on a daily basis.
Still use this day,
from
don't we?
that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the characters, whether it's Kramer stumbling through the threshold or looking for parking spots. I use that all the time when I'm driving around looking for parking.
And
I feel like George Costanza.
I was going to say that I find myself in a lot of those Seinfeld situations, and if you can't laugh at yourself, right?
Exactly. And so, No Miranda, let's continue on. If
All
you
right.
had a favorite Christmas show, what would be your favorite Christmas show?
I love the movie Elf.
Thank you.
Yes,
That's good.
fantastic
Yeah,
movie.
absolutely. There's a lot of good stuff in there, too.
There
isn't
certainly is.
There's syrup all over everything. And, well, God bless. Thanks for coming back, and thanks for sharing what the foundation does and how it supports our community. We appreciate you, Undersheriff.
Sheriff, thank you very much. And I'd like to wish you, your family, all the deputies, all the staff, everyone in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office safe, happy holidays, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.